Hello, America. This is Keith, your friendly neighborhood technician, coming back at you with some wonderful information this week. We're going to figure out how do I change the ice maker in my fridge because I'm not making ice anymore. Long wordy thing, but you'll get the picture. Well, it's hot. It's summer out there. I need ice. I go to my fridge and holy crap, no ice. We have a problem. Okay. Now, can you really test these? I'm going to tell you no. Okay. There are tricks, but I don't want to tell you those because if you don't do them exactly correctly, there's a chance you're going to blow it up and then you're going to blame us, and we don't want that. So I'm just going to show you how to replace the ice maker. One, okay, the ice maker. There are two things you got to consider. Is the ice maker bad, or is my refrigerator not cold enough? What I mean by that is almost all ice makers out there will only work if your freezer is below 10 degrees. So if I am at 12 to 15 degrees in my freezer because I like my ice cream where I can scoop it, this thing's not going to work. So first of all, verify that you are below 10 degrees. And yes, frozen, filling your frozen is not finding 10 degrees, because 10 degrees is enough to keep things frozen but not enough to make ice. So verify you're below 10 degrees. Okay, we verified we're below 10 degrees. Our ice maker is not working, so we're going to change it. Okay, now there's a couple things you got to know. Be careful with this, but there are two tools you're going to need. Depending on the manufacturer, are you going to need a Phillips or are you going to need a 1/4 inch nut driver? Okay, this one here happens to be a 1/4 inch. It's about 75-25. 75% of the units out there use a 1/4 inch nut, 25% use a Phillips, but it's still the same exact process. See, now if you look in here, I've got a little white nut, it's 1/4 inch right there, and I've got one I can't see. It's a little more tricky with the one you can't see if you've never done this before. So basically what I want to do is put my screwdriver on here, and I don't necessarily want to take it all the way out. I want to take it majority of the way out, okay? And I'm going to take my bit, and then I'm going to find it. Okay, and now that I'm on it, I'm going to unscrew it. Okay, now yes, you can take it all the way out. Okay, you don't necessarily have to. Now if I did this far enough out, this thing will lift up and lift down. Voila, we're almost there. Now the other thing I have to worry about is my connector. Okay, your GEs connect down here, your Frigidairs and Whirlpools are generally going to connect up here. Okay, it's still the same process. Disconnect the connector. Now this one has a clip on this side, so I want to pop that up. Okay, I don't want to break it, okay, just because that's a waste. Get this and it pops right out. Now I will take this one out and I will throw it in the garbaggio. Okay, now I've got that. One thing you got to remember when you get a new one, this may or may not be attached, and what I mean by this is you're going to see this. Okay, when you get your new ice maker, you need to make sure you have this. This is what actually allows the water to flow into your ice maker correctly. Okay, if I just put this up here, the water may or may not make it into where it's got to go. This actually directionalizes the water so it actually gets into your ice tray and actually will form. So it's pretty self-explanatory. That doesn't work. It only basically goes in one way. See, this has multiple outlets. I can go here or I can go here. So pay attention to where it's at. If I put this in here, obviously it isn't going to work. So I know this is coming out the back, so I'm going to pop this in. We're going to set it and make sure it's in good. Now, you can either put this on and plug this in, or you can plug this in and then put this on. I highly recommend you plug this in first, because sometimes the plug is way up over here and you can't get this maneuvered into the position correctly. So I'm going to plug this in first. Okay, make sure it clips in. Most all of them will have a snap. If you don't hear the snap, it's not in right. Take it back out, reposition, push it in until you actually hear a snap. Okay, now since I'm using the manufacturer recommended ice maker, I don't have to worry about putting different screws because these are already here. Now, if I'm doing it for the first time, okay, I'm going to see something like this. If you look at this side, there's going to be two little punch outs that are going to be where my screws go. Now, obviously, these have already been screwed in, but if you look, you can see a difference in the color here. That's going to be there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, once I've got that plugged in, I'm going to take this and I'm going to start it. Okay, I'm going to take this next one. Yeah, magnetic helps. That way you don't have to worry about holding it in. If you don't have a magnetic, you can just kind of do this. It's a little harder, but you can do it that way also. Okay, put it in, get it started. Now, don't go too far in, because if we look at this, okay, this is kind of thick. If you go too far in, you're never going to get your screw head over this onto this. So now that I've got that there, I want to make sure my cutout here is inside this. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to take it up, and I'm going to hang it. And if I do it correctly, it's going to hold itself up. If I don't have it both in correctly, I'm going to get something like this, or vice versa. Okay, something like that that's not going to hold. So just take your time, put this in, let them bring it up, bring it down, and then set it. Okay, now you can either do the screw you can't see or the screw you can see. I prefer to do the screw I can see. Okay, you'll take it, you'll just tighten it down. Okay, now there's a very thing you want to worry about here. It needs to be level. If you look right now, I'm actually front up, or back up, front down. How you want to look at it. So if I were to fill this, all of my water is going to run this way, and my ice cubes are going to be uneven because I know I'm not quite down where I'm supposed to be. See the difference? Okay, you want to make sure you're down all the way, and you want that level. So that way your ice cubes will be symmetrical and they will look right. Okay, and then you tighten it down. Okay, kind of hold it there. Now do the same thing. Use your finger, find the screw, put your nut driver on, spin it till you get it, and you'll grab it. Okay, now you don't have to put these in Herculean tight. You want them to go snug, and then just a little bit more. Okay, because there's not a lot of weight. The half a cup to a cup of water that's in there doesn't weigh anything, so it's not going to overload it. And then once you're done, give it a little thing. If it doesn't move much, you're good. Okay, now some other options, some of the ones have a screw hole in the bottom. If yours has it, use it. If it doesn't, don't make one. Okay, but yeah, so this is now back in. We're going to set our ice tray in there, and then we have to realize, since we've had this open for 5-10 minutes, we are well above the 10 degrees. It's got to get below 10 degrees. Once it gets below 10 degrees, then it will start its cycle. So you're probably talking 3 or 4 hours before you actually have ice being made. Okay, now that unfortunately not a lot you can do about that, because this has to be at 10 degrees or below. But that's how you change an ice maker in your top mount fridge. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Come back for some more wonderful information, and like us on the page. Have a wonderful day.